Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm Robin Elliott with Elliott Motorsports, and today I have a brand new project. I'm going to be installing a new Android head unit in my 2016 Bentley Continental GTS, and this is a brand new unit that just came out and that was released. It's going to be pretty much an identical looking radio as what the Bentayga has, the brand new Bentayga, and also a spin-off of the newer GT. But mainly it's a design off the Bentayga, which is a super, super nice radio, and it fits extremely well. It looks factory. So here is a view of the OEM one. We'll kind of get in here, let you look at that, and then we're going to do a comparison. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a complete install on this. I'm going to show you the wiring, how to remove everything, go through everything step by step the best that I can. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to go over everything that you get for the Bentley kit. Now this is, once again, this is for the 2016, mine's a 2016, so I guess you could say the Gen 2 Bentley and Flying Spur. It's available for the first gen and second gen. The second gen is going to have a different base here, so, excuse me, the first gen will than this, because you don't have that empty space down below, so this will go extend clear down. So that's one thing that's going to be different on the Gen 1, so from 05 up. So also this is piano black. My car's piano black, so you're going to be able to get this in carbon fiber, any of the wood colors and stuff. So if you want to get it in something other than the piano black and the carbon fiber, you just send us a picture of what you currently have and we can match it. So, and this is also the same design as the same as the Bentayga. Obviously you'll have a different top on there. So what you get is the screen, and all your connections will be on that, and then you get the climate control, and you'll have two connections. I'm going to go over all the connections on here, so it's pretty easy to do. And then you'll transfer a few things over here. We'll go ahead and go over the wiring real quick. There's a lot of wiring here. Don't let that intimidate you. Now this is going to be for the Gen 2 model here. So the Gen 1 is going to be similar, and I do have instructions and everything for the Gen 1 and everything else. So when it's time to install it, I'm going to go over the simple stuff first. We'll start out with the simple stuff. This is going to be a 4G antenna, which will go right here. And that's if you want to use your 4G SIM card. Then you're going to have a GPS antenna. This antenna can be mounted inside the dash. You don't have to mount it outside the dash, as well as the 4G antenna. You're going to have an external mic, and I assume that you have to use this external mic, but I will find out, see if it is compatible with the factory one or not. But I assume you'll probably want to run this somewhere. And like I say, I'll find out more once it's all installed. Now this is the antenna that was shipped with it. Now I am going to have the correct antenna that plugs into the dual one, factory one on the car itself, and I'll have a picture up here in the corner to show you. So there are change in this. So because it's a dual one. One's AM, one is FM. So that's going to be a little different than what I'm showing you right here, but I'm showing it. I'll put a picture up for you. You're going to have 2 USB ports, and you'll be able to run those down the side, or somewhere accessible. You could kind of run it anywhere you want. There's 2 of those. Here's going to be your Wi-Fi antenna. It's going to go right there. Okay, 3 important, but 2 very important things that I haven't covered yet that I forgot. This is going to be for the cars, the Gen 2s, with the factory reverse cam. And I'll go over and show you how to connect these 3 wires. They're very simple to do. This goes into your factory harness right here. It has got a little alligator clip. So I'll show you how all this goes in. So that's to retain the factory backup camera. And I did get this in. Here is the correct AM/FM antenna with the booster. And I'll show you how that goes, connects, and how it gets its power. So there's that. And these are going to be included. So that there's the first one I showed you is what they included. However, they now know that this is the correct one to include in the kit. This is for the Bentleys and everything. So, and then one of the most important pieces that I almost forgot about is the mounting plate. So this mounting plate is going to be located at the very bottom of your box. So you'll have to lift the foam out, and in the very bottom of the box, this is laying in there. So I almost completely forgot about it because it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. So this is the very first thing you install after taking the original head unit out and everything. So just wanted to make sure and know that this fits the 2012 to 2019, which it'll say right here. All right, the first step we're going to do is we're going to remove this panel right here. So I'm going to get my pry tools. I might put a little tape around here, around the leather, to try and protect it so I don't hit it at all. I'm definitely going to put a towel or something up there, because once we get this out, we're going to, this cover, we're going to flip it up because we're going to want to unplug the airbag light right here, and then this will all come out in one unit, and then we'll go ahead and get to the head unit. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to remove, we're going to pry down here, and there, everything's just clipped on, and we're going to be real careful about that. And so what I use the plastic pry tool set like this. So if you don't have one, this is a great investment. You could buy them at any store. You could buy little kits. I have one that has a few more for a bit large door panels and stuff, but this is what you're going to want to do. So let's go ahead and pop out that center part. You're going to see me do this for the very first time. I've never done this before. I've only seen it done on the internet and stuff. So we're going to see how hard it is to, there's a little gap in here that, oh yeah, it's going to come out easy, I think. So I'll go ahead and, sometimes I have to be a little overly careful because I get a little nervous working on my higher end stuff here. So, and I didn't put any, I'm going to chance it here and not put any of the so it feels like it's going to break, but I don't think it is. I'm finding that you just kind of work it up here a little bit. Looks like it's all slowly coming out. Like I say, you could put some tape down and stuff, and try and, you know, if you're a little nervous of getting things scratched, but Usually these pry tools don't do any damage. So this is pretty stout. Feels like it's pretty let's see here. Okay, that comes out. Didn't sound too good, but it's out. Shut that off. Oh, and it comes off. Okay, so nothing broke. It was, oh, I see what it was doing. It was just bringing, it was pulling out the little clip on the one side is all it was. So nothing broke. It all came straight out. So that's not a problem. So what we're going to do next is we're going to drop this down just a little bit. We're going to raise this up, and we're going to make do some unplugging here. Need to find the connector. I'm going to have to get a light so I could actually see in here real quick. Okay, we got the trim piece out. I had to use two hands here, so I was kind of wasting time. But so what I did, I took the two screws out of there, out of the airbag thing, just because I couldn't see how to undo this. I'll look here real quick and see how to do this and show you. This one to the clock, it just simply had a little release right there. So it was easy to get out. But this one here, I just unscrewed it. And I'll look here. I got to get up in there and just see how it disconnects. It was a little tricky, but it was super easy to get these two screws out. I need to transfer this part over anyhow into the new frame. So that leaves us with the head unit. So we're going to set this aside, and I'll show you what we need to do. We'll have to remove the vents, the clock, and these right here. These just unscrew. Super easy to do. I believe they just unscrew, but I'll confirm it here in a little bit. And then so basically you take these off from the back, and we'll transfer them over. But we'll get to that here soon once we get to that point. So what we're going to do next is, I believe we're going to go ahead and take out the head unit. So there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll put up what size of Torx those are. And I think then you put this into drive, I believe, so you could pull this out, and then we'll disconnect that. Okay, I figured it out how to get that out. It's super easy. I was just making it more difficult than what it really was. So you just have two pinch points right there. You just pinch those on the back side. So it's going to be like this, and you have to pinch it on the back side and pull it out. And then there's a little mount right here. I removed it. You just pull this down and you slide it off that way. But but anyhow, that's how you do it. Very simple. It's just two pinch things, and it pulls right out. All right, next we're going to take a T25 Torx. It doesn't have to be the security one. That's just what I happen to have. And there's going to be 6 of these. There's one hidden kind of back there, and then 2 on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew these. And then what I'm going to do is we'll probably have to shift this into drive or something, move the shift lever back so we could pull this out and start making the disconnections. We have the 6 screws out. Now, this is clipped in here also, so I took my pry tool and kind of got in between here and popped them. And so the whole thing's loose now. Now this is for the Gen 2 models here. There is a black plastic plate here, so don't pull on that. That's not going to move. That stays. You're going to want to just kind of work it out from the top and maybe kind of hold it down here at the very bottom here. But this piece down here, the back piece, it stays. So make sure and don't be pulling on that because it's not going to release. That's a permanent thing there. So we're going to go ahead and shift this. We're going to pull this radio out, and we're going to unplug everything. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. There shouldn't be any tricks on actually unplugging everything and getting it all disconnected. But if there is something a little tricky or something, I'll let you know. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here while I pull this the rest of the way out, and we'll disconnect it and get it on the bench. We have it all out now. These are all the connections. This is going to be your AM/FM radio antenna. I believe this is the GPS, usually Blue's GPS. Probably your factory XM radio antenna, which we won't use. Then you have your AC connection, another little connection at the bottom, and then your main harness, which is just, you just pinch and pull on this clasp here, right there. Let me get my light on here. Sorry about that. There we go. Now we can see. So you just pinch, squeeze on the back here where my finger is, and then you just release it. So that's all it is. Like I say, it's clipped in here, so when you pull it out, it pops. Now all these pieces here are all metal, even this trim piece. So this piece here that was on the black one, that's all metal. So that's not going to break when you pry it off. Okay, well, I think we could start disassembling the main part over here, and we will start transferring everything. So what we're going to do here is we're going to transfer all this stuff over. And like I say, this is all metal. So this frame, let's shut this off here. This frame here, this is all metal. So as you're pulling it and it's coming off, popping off, it's pretty cool. It's all metal and everything. So make sure and save these pieces. They're very valuable, especially the radio. These things brand new are $8,000. I know on eBay these things sell for upwards of $2,000–3,000. Mine's perfectly fine, but you can see the connections. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. You have 6 total connections that you have to undo, and this is flipped upside down. So, all right, we'll go ahead and start transferring all of this stuff over to the new. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is remove these right here. So they just unscrew. So you just unscrew those out. Whoop, and don't drop them in there like I did. Set those aside. Set that down there. And then what we're going to do is flip it over, and you're going to use the same T25 that we used to remove the radio on the vent. So you're just going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe this whole assembly comes off, so we'll go ahead and try that right now. That lifts off as all one assembly, so that was super easy. So it's just the 4 screws here, and this lifts off the whole assembly. I don't think we transfer any of that over because these are glued in, so I don't think those are transferable. But let me look here real quick and see what we have to do. It looks like you do transfer these over. Looks like they're glued in, so we'll have to we might heat those up with the heat gun and get them transferred over and they go right over here. You see they have the same indentations. So I'm going to go ahead and experiment with this for a minute and just see what it takes to get these popped out without doing any damage or anything. And get those transferred over, because I know you definitely want those transferred over to the new one. So we'll see. They might. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. They just simply push out. Well, that was easy. Okay, well, that's what you do. So you just push those out like that. I'll be darned. There you go. And then you just bring them over here, and they fit right in. Okay, so they're not even glued in. I might put a dab of silicone there. It looks like they were glued in, but they do literally just pop right out. So I'll get those cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to clean that glue up that's right there, and then we'll go ahead and get them set in here. Okay, we got the little chrome deals transferred over, and I'm going to use some kind of a glue or silicone or something like I mentioned before. But one little hiccup, they're specific to where they go, and for some reason on this piece here, these are mirrored instead of identical like the other one. So when you put it in, I had to take just a little Dremel and just make this a little bit bigger here and a little bit bigger there, so this would fit flush in there. No big deal. Took me less than a minute to do. And they all fit in there just perfect, so that's what they are when they're in there. So all I need to do is do a little piece of glue, and then when you get this, I'll show you here in a minute. There's a plug that comes in here. You just unscrew that plug, and then you could put your deal in here and your airbag light, and then screw it in. Okay, we'll go ahead and I'll get these kind of glued down, silicone down, probably with a light silicone, and then we'll get this piece screwed on, and then the next thing is to mount this on, and then this piece will be all completed. Put just a little bit of the silicone. What I used was this. It's called The Right Stuff by Permatex. It's just anything's going to work really, and I just put a couple little dabs there and right there. So what we'll do is go ahead and lower that in, kind of press it in there, and we're going to take the second one and lower it in there, and we'll let that dry. Here's the plug that it comes with. It's just a piano black plug that's in there. So I just unscrewed this and then put the passenger airbag light on. So this is all completely done. I have everything mounted in here. Everything's ready as far as this to go. I think the next thing we need to do is get the wiring, and we're going to run the USB cords. Let's see. So I'm debating how to do this, but I think what I'm going to do for now is possibly run the USB cords so I have access to them under here. So in this little spot here, you can do it through into the glove box. I think I'm going to put the 4G SIM card holder in there, and you could fish it through here. And I think, if I remember right, there's a plug right here, so you could pop that plug out, and you could actually run the 4G. You could run wires through there and into the glove box. So I may be doing that with fish it through here, and I think you could get up through here. so there's lots of room in here. And then the next thing is going to be attaching all the wiring to the head unit, and then connecting everything in here. And then bring it in and mount it up. I think we're getting really close to having it all hooked up and ready to go. All right, let's start off with the USB cords. So you have two USB cords. Now you have two options. You can run it through the glove box and pop out that little plastic deal right here and run them in here. So you just need to take something in like a hanger or something. I have a wire fish that it just comes right through here, and you'll be able to fish it through. You could do that, or what I'm going to do, I'm actually running this. You'll see this little foam right here. So this is on the Gen 2 models, Bentleys, and then under here you could feel the foam. So I just ran both of the USB cords down here, so I have access to them. They're right here, and I'm going to leave them kind of free in there, so if I need to pull them, I could pull them out even with the head unit in. So that's where I have them, and then I'll be able to just kind of tuck them. You could tuck them up in there if you want, and hide them. So basically those are just going to be for updates, or if you want to plug a USB in for music or videos, or but if you want to run like a USB dash cam, you could connect to that and then run it. It's pretty complicated on this car. Everything's well built and kind of hidden, but getting to the glove box, no problem. So I do have an adapter for the GPS cord, so that's what I'm going to be using, and so I don't have to mount that GPS antenna. I'll just use the existing one with the adapter, and I'll show you that. And then I have the adapter for the AM FM there. This one here, I'm not sure if we use this one here. I'll find out. See which one this is going to be used. So okay, I think the next thing I'm going to do is I probably won't run the 4G SIM card myself, because I'm not going to use that 4G feature. I may see if I want to fish it over there. I'll kind of determine that within a few minutes here. So, all right, we'll keep moving on. Okay, here's my GPS adapter that I sell. I sell this separate. So if you want to attach it to this and retain the factory GPS antenna, you can. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this right now. For the microphone, instead of me trying to run it up top here, because I don't think this uses the factory mic. I don't think. So the easy way is what I did is, if you go from the top here, you can't go from the side, but if you go from the top here, you could reach clear down and you could feed the mic right here. And I think what I'm going to do is just mount it right here. It's out of the way. It's just an adhesive back. It's not going to hurt anything. So I'm just going to mount it right there, and you have a straight line. So when you're talking, it will pick up your voice down here. So it's out of the way. It's not going to interfere in any of the steering column functions to start moving and everything. And so I just fed it through here, and then I reached down through here. You can just reach right down there, and you can see you could just pull it. And so that's going to be the easy way without taking a ton of panels off and everything. This will be really easy just to mount it right there. And there's your mic. It doesn't look out of place or anything. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then we'll tidy up these wires, and so they're not so long. So that's what we're going to do on that. Next thing, probably what I'll do is, I don't think I'm gonna run the 4G SIM card, just because I'm never going to use it. But if I ever want to, it'll be back here. I'll be able to pull this out and run it if I want to. But all you do, you just pop that little cover off that I showed you in the glove box, run a fishing line, and it'll come out right here or right up here, and you'll be able to pull it right through. And you could do the same thing for your USB cord. So you have that option. I got my GPS antenna connected. I think the next thing, oh, and this one here does have a plug-in I saw on the main wiring, and I'll show you that. But I'm going to plug everything into the head unit itself. So I think the only one you don't use is this one right here. I think that's the only cord in the plug that you're not going to be using. But everything else you're going to use. Okay, we'll go ahead and get these wires tidied up just a little bit. So you do want these pre-installed in here in the screen. So I think it comes pre-installed. So like I say, I tried to do it without, but there's a reason why these are pre-installed here, or you put them in the head unit part first, and then you snap them on. So we'll go ahead and get those snapped on. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the so-called loose things. So this one right here is going to be for your Wi-Fi. It says Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So we're going to go ahead and screw this on. And I'm going to take my needle nose and give it a little tighten there. I think that's fairly tight. So next, here's your 4G, and you could do either or on those, but I'm not going to be using the stick antenna because I'm not going to be using that. So I'm just going to leave it out. And also the GPS will go here if you use this one. If not, this is where your adapter is going to go on that I sell separate, the GPS to retain the factory GPS. So I'll go ahead and unplug that. And then here's the adapter that's going to come with. Okay, so it's going to plug in right here. Now you need to make sure and get this thing plugged all the way in there. Make sure it's seated completely in. So there's that. And then we're going to have, let's do this little single wire right here. You're going to see this one right here. So it's going to go from here to here. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And everything has its own spot, so you can't mess it up. And then that one goes to there. So you're going to see this one right here. It's going to be blank. And then this one here is going to be in your car, I believe. Let's see. No, it's right here. So this is the main harness. So it's going to plug into your climate control right there. And then you're going to have the main plug here. That's going to plug in by the fuse. And this one you need to make sure and it's seated properly. So it does fit tight. So make sure everything clicks in. And then this one is going to go right. Oh, got it backward, upside down. It's going to go right here. Right there. Okay, there we go. So the release tabs will face down. And then the next two right here are going to be your USB cords. You got a 4-pin and a 6-pin. So when we get in the car, we'll plug those in. Let's see. Now this one has a long wire. It says Wi-Fi. Maybe this is your Wi-Fi. Maybe this is your Bluetooth. I'm not quite sure. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. If you don't have a backup cam, or if you want to add a different cam or a better cam, this is where you plug your reverse cam in. Otherwise, this is going to retain your factory camera. And we'll demonstrate that once we get in there. And then you're going to have it's called brake. It says brake right here. That's going to be your trigger wire if you do an aftermarket cam. So otherwise, don't worry about it. You'll just be using the factory cam. That's going to plug in right there. Let's see. This is your CAN bus. We'll get to that in just a second. So this, and I'll confirm everything's working, but this goes to audio in L, and this is aux in L. And then the other white one will be the CDC-L to the audio out L, which is left, obviously. And then you have your rights. So that's how those are going to attach. I am going to put some black tape on this because I don't want those open. I usually tape all of my connections up, and I'll do that. And then this is where the mic's going to plug into. Nothing's going to be plugged into here at this time. So, and then this is your 4G SIM card holder if you want to run it to the glove box, but I'm not. I'm just going to leave it. So we'll go ahead and plug this in. Okay, that's plugged in. Let's see. This blue one's going to be that square plug in the car. That's where that one's going to plug into. That's going to be part of your climate control. And then you're going to take and this is only for the Gen 2s, you're going to take the optical cord that comes out and plug it into the CAN bus. And then you're going to plug your optical into here. If I need to spin it, there we go. Click it into there. And I think that is all the connections. So you're only going to have one open one, this one right here next to the big long one. Those we're going to plug in when we get in the car. We're going to plug the GPS when we get in the car. And we're going to plug the antenna when we get in the car. And obviously the main plug when we get in the car. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and tape these wires up real quick so we don't get any static or unwanted noise. And we'll go from there. We're going to go ahead and put this in the car. I'm going to kind of go over the wiring real quick because it's going to be impossible for me to plug this in, film it, do everything at one time. So I'm going to show you where everything goes real quick. So basically you have the connection for the airbag, the clock connection, and then you're going to have the main harness right here, the radio, AM, FM antenna, this blue connector, and I'll show you where that goes, and then the GPS there. Remember, I'm not putting the 4G on right now, so because I'm not going to be using that. So, so basically everything's connected there. So we'll go over here to the car, and we will show you where we're going to put all this. Okay, kind of backtracking just a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this mounted into the car. Super easy. It's going to use 6 of the factory mounting screws. So let's go ahead and get this plate in, and we could move on with finish up the installation. In the car here, you can see I have the wiring. It's all attached in here. I had to disconnect the unit because I had a brain fart and forgot to do the plate here. So I do have the top. It's just kind of in there. It's not pushed in yet and clipped, but I have it in here. So I'm going to lift this up. So the first thing I would do in the whole installation is the first thing you could do is install this and screw it in, because everything else just goes on top of this and clips on it. So the top part there, and I'll show you how that secures and everything. But this is going to be step one, is getting this in. You can go ahead and make the connections in there like I did, other than doing it on the head unit first. But we'll go through that again here real quick and get everything. So let's go ahead and get this plate mounted real quick. I don't need to video it. It's just putting the 6 screws in, and then we'll come back and we'll start getting the head unit. We're going to do the connect the reverse cam and also get the power to the AM/FM signal booster. We'll do that after we get this plate. Next, we're going to take the antenna adapter, and this blue end here is going to go to the white, the double white here. It's going to be that one right there. And then we're going to take the power. You're going to see a pink wire called AMP Connect, or AMP CON. On this bigger one, and it's got all the RCAs attached to it and stuff. So we're going to draw the power off of this. So we're going to attach the blue wire and the pink. We're going to solder that together, and then we'll go ahead and plug this in, and that'll be done. Then we're going to move next onto the reverse camera. All right, the next step is going to be for the reverse cam. So you're going to get this adapter with this CAN bus and stuff in it. It's going to have a ground, an ACC in a back, and then an RCA. So you're going to take this adapter here that has the big long blue. Okay, so here's the T-tap that I did. Just find a ground. I did it going to this plug here. There's a ground exposed there, so I just T-tapped into that, and that's what I'll plug it into. And then this is going to be, this is your connection for your reverse cam. So I'm doing this one-handed here, so I won't be able to actually plug it in, but you just, with one hand, but just plug that in, and then clip that, secure it, and then this, of course, will go into the back of the head unit. So I'm going to go ahead and secure this, and then I think we're ready to bring the head unit over and start making all the connections again. I showed you on the bench there, but it's going to be easier to put this plate on first. I did put this on and kind of clip it half in. It's not pushed in all the way, so it still moves. But you could do this. You know, put the unit in first, connect it, and do this. It just depends on what order you want to go in. There's really no right or wrong, but I just kind of have this just clipped and sitting in there. That way everything's connected here. I don't have to worry about it before I put the plate on. That was easier, a little easier for me. And then next we'll bring the main unit, plug it all in, and then we'll bring the climate control, plug it in. And you want everything connected before you start the car or anything, otherwise you're going to get some error codes. So we'll go ahead and bring that over, and I'll make all the connections like I showed on the bench. All right. Have the connections made. Here's the ground wire. And then here's the main connection for the reverse cam right here. There's only one way it'll fit, and you have to have this down, and then it goes right on, but that's the orientation of it right there. Now we'll grab the head unit itself. I have a update on the wiring for the reverse cam. This is pretty important. It took me a while to figure it out. So the brown brake wire here, you are not going to use it. So disregard that. So on the CAN bus that you get for the reverse wire, you're going to have a back and an ACC, okay, the pink and the red wire. Then you're going to have your ground too. You're going to twist those two together, these two together, and then it's going to go into the VCC 12 volt. So you're going to connect those. And then I'll show you the setting on the head unit, on how to set the head unit. It took me a while to figure this out. I couldn't get it to work, and I finally figured it out. So there is a ground. Now it'll work without the ground, so I don't even have the ground connected. So, and it's working. So I did do a T-tap like I showed earlier into the main wiring. But like I say, this is not necessary. You do not need it grounded. So I'll probably just let that hang. So let me go ahead and get this kind of tucked in there, and then we'll do I'll put it in reverse and show you, and we'll get the settings all covered on that. All right, we have it all installed, and it looks freaking amazing. Now, the only thing that I'm waiting for, you'll see that this is reading in Celsius. However, up here on the screen, it reads in Fahrenheit. So what they're doing, they're sending me a new board, and all the ones in the American versions will have the Fahrenheit here, but they need to send me a new board so it reads it. But other than that, everything is working wonderful. I'm going to do a part 2 where I go over this whole entire system with you and show you the features and everything and how everything works. So for the reverse, let's get back to the reverse. You're going to see you're going to have double lines here, and they're both, so mainly this thing taps into the CAN bus where you could put an aftermarket camera in, because you'll see this one is kind of grainy, because I mean the factory camera is not the best, so you can put a factory ones, but in order to get rid of the dual lines here, you could go on here. Let's see here. I just need to find the track line. There. You just hit track line right there, and that takes out the secondary one. So now the signal type on this, you're going to want to make sure it's set to NTSC. That's what kind of factory camera, and that's what most cameras are. So there you go. Everything works. Like I say, it's not the best picture in the world, and that's just because of the quality of the factory camera is not the best. So you know, you can replace the camera. I don't know how difficult it is to run the lines and everything, but it is what it is. But you could put a high quality camera and have just crystal clear, high definition camera in here. But this will get the job done, in my opinion. For me, that's all I need. The lines and everything works, so everything's working with the factory, and it just looks amazing. So I am gonna go probably wrap up this segment of the installation. So this is the full installation. Now, you didn't see me put this in. It's really easy. You push these, snap those in. Well, first of all, you put the middle screen and you snap it in. There's 4 clips in there. You just push it in, and then you snap the top 2, seat those in, and you'll see how nice it fits. And then you snap these 2 bottom ones into the top of the screen, and then the climate control has 4 snaps, and they just snap in, and you just line it up with underneath. And this is for the Gen 2 Bentleys. So yeah, I am super impressed. You'll see it's just gorgeous. Just looks freaking amazing. Super happy with this. Like I say, I'm going to go over a whole nother video. I'm going to go over the whole entire unit and show you how all the functions and everything work, all the air, the suspension buttons and all that good stuff. So, all right, I think that's all I got. If you have any questions, you could get a hold of me at caymanspyder@gmail.com. All my information is down below. The direct link to this unit for the Gen 1 and the Gen 2s are available. So if you have any questions, get a hold of me. Thanks so much.